Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council for the Borough of Glassboro for October 25th, 2022 to order. Karen, could you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2022, which schedule is posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board as well as the Borough website and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County, filed with the Borough Clerk on January 7th, 2022.
Thank you. Can we all rise to salute the flag, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Karen, roll call, please.
Mayor Wallace.
Here.
Mr. Casabone.
Present.
Mr. D'Alessandro.
Here.
Mr. Fiola.
Here.
Mr. Halter.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Here.
Mrs. Spence.
Here.
Mr. Melandro.
Here.
Mr. Scafidi.
Here.
Mr. Brunemer.
Here.
Thank you. We have a little bit of a ceremonial presentation. I'm going to come down. I'd like to invite the mayors of council down off the dais, please. This evening, we're recognizing two of our former employees that have served the borough for over 20 years, and I'd like to recognize their service to the borough. So I would like to call first Julie Howard, please. I just want to read to you the letter that I sent to Julie. Greetings, Julie. I wanted to take this opportunity to formally congratulate you on your retirement from the Glassboro Police Department after 22 years of service. Having begun your career as a patrol officer and advancing to detective, then detective first class, to ultimately detective corporal, is a testament to your inimitable work ethic and dedication to those you were sworn to serve. You are truly an example for others to follow. On behalf of myself and all the residents of the fine borough of Glassboro, I thank you for your service and wish you all the best in your retirement. With respect, Johnny Wallace, 3rd Mayor.
I look at
You want your?
You want me to talk to you? Take a photo.
There you go. You want to hold that?
Sure. You want to see that?
Yeah.
All right.
Come on in, gang.
Come on. It's like by myself. Thank you. Hope you got my good side.
Thank you.
I know, right? Thank you. How long will I do that? You'll try. Thank you so much.
We'll try.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna miss you, babe.
Thanks. I will. Thank you. Thanks.
Hey, if you ever want to join a commission or anything, Julie.
Yeah. Give me a year. Give me a year.
All right.
Mr. Paul Dillard, please.
Good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What I sent to Paul. Greetings, Paul. I want to take this opportunity to formally congratulate you on your retirement from the Glassboro Fire Department after 27 years of service. 30 years if you were to include the 3 years you volunteered with the department prior to your employment. Over those 27 years, you were instrumental in making the Glassboro Fire Department Station 26-1 one of the finest in the region. Your dedication to the safety and service to the residents of Glassboro, as well as the training and mentoring of young firefighters, will not easily be forgotten. On behalf of myself and all the residents of the fine borough of Glassboro, I thank you for your service and wish you all the best in your retirement. With respect, Johnny Wallace III, Mayor. Come on in, gang.
Thank you.
We're gonna have time, you should join a break.
Maybe miss it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Bittersweet to have these two retire.
Thank you.
Very instrumental in what makes the borough what the borough is today.
Thank you. Nice stuff. Thank you.
There you go, Paul. All right, gang, that does conclude the ceremonial portion of this meeting. You are more than welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting, but we will not be offended if you want to go out and enjoy this nice sunny weather. Okay, at this time, I'll be turning the meeting over to our borough solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a number of scheduled public hearings this evening. We'll begin first with ordinance number 22-19. That is an ordinance amending chapter 366, property maintenance, article 3, abandoned vacant property registration, section 16, registration of real property for the code book of the Borough of Glassboro. Council so moves to open the meeting to the public.
Motion to open the public.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public portion and adopt the ordinance as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mayor, next we have ordinance 2220. That is an ordinance amending chapter 107, development regulations and zoning, article 5, general zoning regulations, section 107-84D of the code book of the Borough of Glassboro. Council moves for public portion.
Make a motion to open this, the public portion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing no one on this proposed ordinance, I make a motion to close the public portion and adopt the ordinance as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Four.
Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have ordinance 22-21, an ordinance amending chapter 445, vehicles and traffic, section 445-14, no parking, one-way streets, through streets, turns, bus stops, various streets of the code book of the Borough of Glassboro. Again, the council moves for the public portion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing nobody, make a motion to close this public portion, adopt the ordinance as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Four.
Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And our last ordinance public hearing is 2222, an ordinance amending chapter 490, health rules and regulations of the code book of the Borough of Glassboro to add a new article 14 entitled Backyard Chicken Pilot. Council moves for the public portion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address this proposed ordinance.
Seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public portion and adopt the ordinance as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
Four.
Mr. Fiola?
Four.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 27th, 2022, as well as the closed executive session of September 27th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We have no communications, so I'll move to committee reports and begin with our council president, Costa.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just, for the records, I am in receipt of the police department monthly report for September. And I would like to thank Corporal Julie Hallery and Paul Dillard for their many years of service to the borough, outstanding service. And I wish them a happy and safe and healthy retirement. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilman D'Alessandro.
Mayor, at this time I have nothing.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilman Fiola.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to announce that I am in receipt from our CFO, Karen Passioni, of the various financial reports for the month of September 2022. And those reports advise the council of the present status of the municipal budget. So I'd like to thank her for that, and that's all I have.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilman Halter.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Water and Sewer Department is moving along status quo lately, still waiting on parts and supplies, seems to be the number one problem, just like a lot of other places. Also, you'll see later on in the agenda tonight, we'll be introducing an ordinance for assistance on the lead-based pipe replacement, so we can make some modifications as needed.
Thank you very much, sir. Councilwoman Miller.
Good evening, Mayor. I just wanna make note that our seniors will be traveling to New Orleans, November the 6th for their annual trip. We are also accepting basketball registrations at this time, and that's all I have.
Thank you very much. And Councilwoman Spence.
Thank you, Mayor. I also serve as a member of the Board of Health, and we had a very successful food drive in partnership with Samaritan Center, the food bank here in Glassboro. And we plan on hosting another one in February. And we also, as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission and Historic Society, we had a very successful Civil War History Day on Sunday. This past Sunday was very well attended despite the rain. It was a really great event, and it was our 8th year of hosting that event. Hope to expand upon it next year, and hopefully everyone will come out and check it out. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Well done. Very nice. And we'll move into new business. Karen, a new business?
I have a request for approval of New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for Seamus C. Fellner.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. At this time, I'll ask for an engineer's report, please, Mark.
Yes, good evening. Just to update, things are still progressing for the 94 townhouses in Camelot. They're waiting for the weather to try and get their base paving in there, and then get electric in there to get the lights up and operational there. They are working, trying to finalize the developer they're going to use for the buildings. So they have reached out as far as the style of building and things like that. So we'll get more information with the council on how that proceeds. Same case across the street on the 30 townhouses. There are several options, things they're working on in the field right now, getting some pad sites, some basic stuff, but they still got to finalize all their HOA documents and easements and that to file before they get building permits on those. Charles III Drive, we're coordinating, finalizing things with DOT to finish up phase 1. So the contractor can get in there and pave on that, and we're waiting to hear back for the contractor for phase 2. 2 different contractors to pave the rest of Charles III down to Dalton Drive, the ShopRite to get all that work complete. So they're going to try to get that done this winter. Not too much concrete on phase 2, so that'll be better. High Street townhouses, keep building homes. They're trying to get their landscaping in for those items there. We we have a formal startup of some backup power for the generator at the pump station, so that'll be going on Friday, so that continues to move well there. Lincoln Housing, they keep struggling to keep the contractors in there to get some work done. They're targeting right now near Thanksgiving to have their units, some of the units done for an opening. We'll see how that goes. They're putting things back and forth with that. Park Avenue Pump Station, they're just finishing up some electrical repairs or equipment and upgrades for the panel controls. The fencing's up for that, so they're all in place there. I just received an email today that the generator that was supposed to be here in February is now going to be here in April. So that saga will continue. I expect further changes from them because it's very difficult to get a generator, even though it was ordered last May. So for that. With that aspect, the ShopRite continues their improvements there and trying a lot of moving pieces going on over there. So at that time, that's all I have.
Mark, is there a projected time frame for ShopRite? Are they on track right now?
I haven't heard anything back. They've been doing a lot of stuff with the code office for the inside, so that's fine. There really won't be too much that involves our office for the basically phase 4, which is the end unit that has to reestablish that parking on the side, and how that got shifted around and things like that, and those things. But yeah, everything's pretty much internal for what there's some, site fences and that for construction to keep it under control. But they have to try and get close to get the paving because it's going to be difficult. It's too late just on the end unit. But everything else is just simple additions and internal.
Any other questions for Mark?
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark. Now, at this time, I will once again turn the meeting over to our Borough Solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. On our consent agenda this evening, we have the following resolutions. Number 240, authorizing refund of a tax payment overpayment. Resolution 241, authorizing a refund of street opening performance guarantee Jacob Yates. And Resolution 242, authorizing a refund of street opening performance guarantee Bruce Hunter. They are the 3 resolutions under our consent agenda for your consideration for the reasons noted. If council so moves for approval.
Motion for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Cossabon?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
For.
Mr. Fiola?
For.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And this evening we have ordinances for introduction this evening. I'll read them, and the motion will be for each of the ordinances to be introduced. First is 2225, an ordinance amending Chapter 422 taxation of the Code Book of the Borough of Glassboro to add a new Article 4 to be entitled Medical Cannabis Transfer Tax. Ordinance number 22-26, an ordinance of the Borough of Glassboro establishing a new article in the Water and Sewer Manual of the Code Book of the Borough of Glassboro to be entitled Mandatory Replacement of Lead Service Line. We are not going to be introducing ordinance 22-27, so the motion would be for introduction of ordinance 22 and 22, 25, 22, 26, if council so moves.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Cossabon?
Yes.
Mr. D'Alessandro?
For.
Mr. Fiola?
For.
Mr. Halter?
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Mrs. Spence?
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting up to the public.
Move the public portion be open.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The floor is now open to anyone from the public who wishes to come forward and address mayor and council.
Seeing nobody in the public, I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Public portion is now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve all duly authorized bills.
Move that all duly authorized bills be paid.
I'll second that all duly authorized bills be paid.
I have a motion and a second that all duly authorized bills be paid. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Yes. Go ahead, Danielle.
Me
Ladies,
first?
ladies first.
Thank you, George. I have 3 abstentions tonight.
Fire away.
22-03140, 03377, and 03483.
If I knew you were that long, I would've went first.
Well, you missed your chance.
Yeah, let the records reflect I abstain on PO number 22-03961. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Those abstentions are noted. Motion still carries. Any closing comments from our borough administrator?
I'd just like to thank Julie and Paul for their years of service, two very, very well-respected public safety people. That's all I
Very,
have there.
very nice. And I would just like to close with welcoming everybody that has come out tonight to council meeting. We have the journalism students from Rowan, they come every year, welcome. We always enjoy having you, and all else that come. We encourage you to come. We appreciate hearing the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on, and that's how we can get things fixed, if things need to be fixed. And with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
A motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
Fast down there, man.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.
About time you guys participated.
Next meeting will be November 22nd, 2022 at 6 p.m. Have a great evening. Stay dry and warm.